What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Lasting Thoughts Podcast. I am your host, Digital Relaxation, and we are back again for another episode. And, geez, I don't even know where to begin. It's been a long time since, it feels like it's been a long time since I've done an episode by myself. But we are here on episode 40. I don't even want to go into, what's up with me right now. It's more I wish there's a way I could find out you guys, what is going on with you guys. It feels like it's just been me talking to guests all the time, so it's not having the direct speech to the listeners was lacking. But I mean, it's cool. I wanted more guests, and I hope to have more guests as well. I was also recently a guest on another podcast as well. So, that was cool. That was a good experience. Just hoping to branch out more. But, I don't even know where to begin, bro. In terms of what I've been up to. Before I even do that, though, if you guys enjoy what you guys want to hear or what you have heard or whatever, please be sure to rate and share the podcast. Help us grow and interact with more people out there and share the message. Hopefully it's not one of those days I can't talk. I've been through a lot, but I don't know where I left off at. I don't want to repeat myself on anything if I said it before. Overall, recently I have made the announcement in the last episode, well, kind of indirectly, but I guess I can make it more official now that I have what I've been working on for the longest was me moving, and finally getting to my own spot and whatnot. So that was a great big step for me. So I've just been adjusting to all of that for the past 2-3 months now. Yeah, so that's what I've been mainly focusing on. But other than that, side stuff, just been gaming, chatting with people, talking, reading manga. That's mainly it. The last game I actually completed recently, I actually completed 2 games recently that I did not talk about on the podcast, but I'll quickly talk about it. One was Halo Infinite. Quick review. Crap. No, I'm sorry, but I wasn't happy with it. The open world was very, very empty. It was just the same old formula. Just go here, open that base up, then you can fast travel to your base and do that, and just do the mission. It was boring. The story was decent. I didn't really care for it. I feel like there was a gap. Again, I don't know why they do that, but there's a gap between Halo 5 and Halo Infinite. So it's, I don't know. It also kind of ties into Halo Wars too, but at the same time, there's still a big gap there too. So there's a lot that happened, and they try to fill the story in with audio logs and all. I got time for all of that. So I don't know. That was disappointing to me. The other game was 12 Minutes. I actually been wanting to play this game since I first seen the trailer. So it was put on the Game Pass. So I was like, hey, let me play it. 12 Minute is one of those games where you are constantly in a loop, and it's a 12-minute loop where this guy will keep coming to your house claiming to be a cop. When he gets into your house, well, I'm gonna explain the gist of what it is, and then the rest is up to you. So you come home from work, your wife, you and your wife having a good time talking, having a dinner date. I think it's maybe your anniversary, as well as some other surprises that I'm not gonna say. But having a good time together. Then get a knock on the door. This dude saying he's the police. You open it up, and he just starts being all aggressive real quickly. He arrests you, and then he arrests your wife. And then he immediately changes his tone from, "Oh, you are suspected for murdering," and I think he says it. I don't know, but I'm just gonna say it. Whether it's a spoiler or not, I don't know. But he suspects you for murdering. Well, he suspects your wife for murdering her father, and he just starts asking her about an item, and she plays dumb, and then Elise and him like, "Oh, you ain't gonna tell me? Then I'm just gonna kill your husband," and you die, and then next thing, whoop, I'm back in the loop, and now you have however many times it takes you to figure out how to get out of this loop, and it's a wild journey, honestly, because you learn some wild stuff. It's a good game, but it's definitely a lot of stuff and a lot of things that can happen to make. I think there's like 3 endings, 3 or 4. I don't even know. I think there's like 3 or 4 endings. So whatever ending you get, there's a lot of ways to get to it. So yeah. What else? I started streaming Resident Evil 2, the remake. I gotta get back into that. Just been gaming with my friends, having a good time. We've been bonding together and getting back to chatting again. They were my guests on the previous episodes. As I mentioned, like, we haven't really been tight for like probably a good year or so. Like, we would talk here and there, but it's been a while since we all gamed together and whatnot, so we've been recently doing that. Yeah, I mean, that's mainly it. I've been focused. I mean, I don't think anyone cares, but I feel like sharing it anyways. I've gotten back into music mode. So I am going to start working on another project. I kind of like the sound of this one in terms of like the beats that I have selected. It's just the writing process that how I'm going to make this sound good lyrically, I guess. But I like the sound of it beat wise, so it's gonna be good. Look forward to it. I want to do like something special on it that I haven't really done before, so I'm trying. It's gonna take a lot of trust and faith. So hopefully it all works out. But yeah, geez, feel like it's just been a long time. I don't even know what else to speak about. I don't even know what else I've been up to. Just been watching stuff. Has there been any movies that I watched recently? I do not even know, bro. Yeah, I need taking a lot of breaks from solo episodes can be wild, because usually I ask my guests what they up to, so I don't talk about myself when I have a guest, so I gotta like keep track of what I've been doing. But I do want to, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this before, but I do want to, like, in the event of something like that happening again where I get a lot of guests back to back, I want to at least probably change my upload to weekly, just so it won't feel too, I don't know, because for me personally, it just felt like it was a long time. Like, even though it was only 3 episodes, those episodes are bi-weekly, so like about a month and a half of time was gone from me personally talking to you guys, so it's a lot. So I guess to keep up with the times, if I do get like more guests or whatever, I'll try to just do it weekly. And I don't know, I was thinking about it. I see other podcasts do it, but I don't want to follow other podcasts, but I don't know what I would do just yet. But I see a lot of like podcasts would, like, they upload their main episode, like, you know, being like a good hour or so long, or however long it typically is, and then they'll upload like a side episode that's like 30-20 minutes of them just talking about something real quick. I don't know if I would do that. I don't even know what I would talk about, but it's just an idea. Let's see where it goes. if it goes. But yeah, I want to say that's enough for me. But I guess we can get into a topic. This one, I don't want to say, I don't know, it kind of came to me because I guess seeing the signs, and I guess it's also a good topic to talk about for me personally, but I was seeing a lot of signs and things popping up that kind of like made me want to talk about this. So I don't know where to begin, but the topic, sorry if I'm making noise, but the topic is basically going to be talking about the concept of being alone and, you know, loneliness and all of that. So before I even, you know, talk about myself first, before I go into other people and other stuff, for me, I felt like loneliness was definitely like one of the biggest triggers into like my depression and whatnot. And I don't know how to talk about, not how to talk about this, because I want to talk about this in general as well. The concept of being alone, like, are you really alone, or do you just feel alone? Like, you know, you can feel alone, but you can have, you know, whether you got family members close by or whatever the case is, but you just feel alone. For me, it was kind of both. I felt alone, and I was kind of alone. Like, the situation of living with, because I living with my father, and he remarried, so I've been living with him, and she also has her kids as well, so we like all like a whole family type thing. But it was like, it's one of those things of feeling like you belong somewhere, like, not like, you know, everyone had like their bond, like, you know, because when we first started with me, my brother, and my sister that was also with us, along with her two kids, so it was 5 of us. But my brother was already at the stage where he was about to get ready to, like, you know, he about to go to college and leave, so he wasn't, you know, he was doing his own thing from the jump. But there was like, you know, it was like that feeling of there are still people there that I know, that, you know, I grew up with. But once he got out the picture, then my sister eventually left, and it was just like me. And I was cool with the brother, but he had his sister, and like, no, that's their bond. They already had that. So it was like, I wasn't too close with her. So like, I'll always just, you know, just be me chilling. If I game with my boys or whatever. So I try to go chill with my circle or whatever. So I wouldn't really try to mingle with everyone in the house. And my father works, like, in terms of like his work schedule in the time of like when I was still going to school. Basically, he would be coming home when I'm going to sleep for school. And, you know, vice versa. I'm going to school, and, you know, he's either still sleeping to go to work, or he probably already got up and went to work. So seeing him wasn't really too often. And then it's a lot on his end too. Like, so I'm not blaming nobody, nothing. Like, I learned to see things from their perspective. Like, he also has to deal with, you know, this is a new marriage for him, so he gotta maintain a marriage. He gotta build a bond with her kids, and still focus on me and still focus on work. So yeah, it did feel like I kind of took the back seat a little bit, but at the same time, it was like, I don't know, cause it was a tricky situation. But yeah, that was one of those things where it just felt like, oh, like, there's nobody here for me to talk to. Then, I started talking to people online, mainly talking to other females online, and that didn't really go well. So, like, yeah, that sucked. And then I couldn't even really, like, when I played video games, it was mainly only for the weekends because, they wanted us to focus on school, which clearly that didn't work. If you put two and two together with me, like, yeah, but, so like I didn't have much time to really be around other people, talk to other people, and just feeling like things were constantly going wrong. And as I mentioned before, like moving from another state and feeling like I didn't properly get to end my chapter back at that area, so it felt like I had a void that I can't fulfill no more. So just feeling empty and hollow, and yeah, just being alone. And then of course, the cycle of being alone, and you alone with your thoughts, and things get negative, and one thing led to another, and then but yeah, so with that, I also recently, actually, just like I think either yesterday or the day before yesterday, which was funny, because I already had this episode planned out, but like I said, like more messages kept on popping up. I saw a TV ad. It was a commercial talking about teenagers having depression and dealing with suicide and all of that, and they were talking about the rates and how it's increasing and whatnot. Yeah, and I was just thinking about it, like I said, when I look back at me, like I feel like some of my stuff that I was, I guess, depressed about, whatever, like, I don't know, like everyone has their own comparison and whatnot. How people feel about certain things, how they deal with things is, it is what it is type thing. Like, I can't tell you how to deal with trauma, because maybe what bothers you won't bother me. But it's one of those things of coming to the idea of why is it that like teenagers are like, being depressed or whatever. And I mean, I guess that goes with the standard teenage phase of, they get to a certain age and they start feeling like, oh, parents don't understand, like, you don't get me or whatever. But the problem is, it's not so much the parents get you or whatever. You don't get you, because you are still going through the whole phase of figuring out what you like, and you like, your whole, pretty much I would say, like around your whole high school time, it's like you basically playing dress up or something, like not physically, but like trying on new personalities, new hobbies, seeing what sticks, what don't sticks, and what goes from there, and like what will you carry on when you get to college, and what would you leave behind. Like, most people you see, like, they go through like their little goth or emo phase, and some people take it to them for the rest of their life, and some people just drop it there. It happens. But that's the thing, like, you would think all these years and all these issues, like, not to trigger warning or whatever, like all these news about school shootings and all that, kids bringing guns to school, like, not so much as you think there'll be something to stop shooting. It's so much you would think we would figure out a way to deal with becoming a teenager, I guess. Like, I guess that's one of those things where people will be like, school don't teach you things that we need to know, like, y'all talking about math and English and Spanish and all that, but I'm just trying to deal with accepting who I am or who I'm becoming. Like, the struggle of I can't speak. The struggle of people who deal with their identity, racial identities, their sexual identity. Some things they probably can't talk about with others. They ashamed to talk about with others. Like, classes like that need to be put into school. Like, high school should be used to, at least the first 2 years should be used for like helping these teenagers figure out who the hell they are in this new stage in their life. Like, one day all I cared about, like I talked about this in previous episodes, of course, I always reference my podcast. But like, one day you like, hey, like all I care about is playing video games and having fun, and then the next day you go to school and everyone's talking about, for the guys, talking about the girls and this and that, and you're like, that's not what I'm interested in, but now it feels like I have to be so I can be accepted. And then you just start throwing away all the things you cared about before and trying to get yourself, and then you're just confusing yourself on what it is you like and why you like it. Like, am I pursuing girls because this is what I'm genuinely interested in, or am I just doing it so I don't look like a fool when the guys talk about it? Like, it's just a big thing. It's like, speaking for me personally, I don't want to say I made a decision, but I kind of made like a unconscious decision to not date in my entire high school. I went my entire high school not dating, not even barely even. It was only one female that stood out to me, but other than that, I wasn't even trying. Like, there was too much stuff going on for me to care about making another girl happy. Like, I wasn't happy, so I kept my distance with that. Like, even with online, like I used to talk to girls online before high school, but once I got to high school, I didn't even do that. Like, I literally just stopped pursuing relationships my entire high school because I was just trying to figure out me and figuring out, do I still want to continue going on and whatnot. So it was like, and I'm glad I guess I did that without really knowing why I did it, but seeing that I'm older and understanding why it should have been done. I actually recently sent like a screenshot of a text of a girl I was talking to, and showing like how my emotional abusiveness led to this girl flat out telling me that she hates me, like genuinely hates me because of just what a jackass I was, I guess, for lack of a better word. And it's those things that, like, when I was at that age, I would probably blame her for it. I'll blame her for all of our issues or whatnot, but now that I could see, like, damn, bro, like, I wasn't ready for none of this because I didn't get myself right and they didn't deserve that. But I know it is what it is. It's the journey. But yeah, like, I feel like we need more, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, but like more self-help or whatever type classes, either in school or after school classes. Like, oh, there's an after school program that teaches you about all of this. Like, I don't know, like I said, I wasn't allowed to play video games during like my high school years, only until the weekends so that we could focus on school. But I didn't care about school. I didn't care about me. So it's like, keeping me away from certain things is not going to change how I feel about things. It's like, clearly, like, all the times my father would get mad at me or see my report card, like, oh, why am I doing this? And the funny thing is that he would still blame video games for it. And I'm like, bro, like, I only play video games 2 days a week. Like, it's clearly not that. Why you not, like, I can't, I don't want to say it myself, but like, clearly why you not seeing the signs that something is wrong with me, that I am no longer interested in anything. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. I can't speak on that because I'm not a parent myself. I don't know if I will be a parent, but being, no, not just going for my, like, I don't want to put my father out there too much, but knowing like all the stuff he went through. But the thing is that he still tried to compare like his life to mine, and the things he went through was more different. But it's like, it's the fact that you still went through things, and it's like how you dealt with it is different. Like I said, everyone has their ways to deal with their own trauma. It's like trying to figure out the signs of why is my son not focused in school. He's not distracted by video games, like, because he's not playing it all the time. He's not distracted by girls because, like I said, I didn't even pursue dating in high school. So what the heck is wrong with him that he's not interested in school? Then, like, you know, paid, like I said, he's not there. You know, when he's at work, I'm at school. Then when he gets home, I'm going to sleep. So he can't see my patterns of what I'm doing when I'm home and he's not here. Like, and then, like I said, I'm not blaming that, but it's like, it's things that somebody needs to be there to fill that gap of when a parent is too busy, I guess. Like, you know, and I don't want to go with the stigma of maybe that's the reason why having housewives was like a common thing. You know, at least, you know, one parent would be home to monitor the kids when they home from school. But that wasn't my situation. I mean, that was far from my situation. But yeah, I think stuff like that should definitely become more normal than worrying about taking Spanish. Like, I took Spanish, like I had Spanish my freshman and sophomore year, and probably had C's in both of them. In being a Hispanic myself, like, I didn't care. Like, I don't know. We need to figure out a way. I mean, we should have been, like I said, figured out a way. Unless, I don't know, I haven't been to school in a long time, so maybe there is something, but clearly not, because we still having the same issues. And that commercial clearly made it clear that, you know, these things are still happening at a larger rate. Also, I don't want to blame it, but this is just you know, throw it out there, but maybe it could also be, you know, society changes, you know. Like I said, how one generation of people dealt with their things is different from us. Like, you know, simple example, you know, back in whatever days, we get into a fight, you know, you win the fight, you lose the fight, whatever, but y'all walk away and that's it. Now it's like, you know, getting a fight, all right, come back and, you know, the school shooting, he got bullied. But and I don't know what that is. Is that how we've been, like, programmed as society to become more, I don't want to say soft, but we react in a more drastic way, and, you know, going for the worst case scenario in terms of how we react to things and how we see things. You know, I mean, I'm kind of guilty of that, but not to a degree. Mainly when I was in relationships, you know, when I would get a certain text, like, you know, when you get one of those, I need to ask you something, or I need to tell you something, text from a girl or whatever, and you just thinking, now you just in here like, either I did something messed up and it's over, or she did something and I'm about to be hurt real badly right now, and then it turns out to be nothing. She just really wanted to tell me something. But yeah, it was like insecurities, I guess that's what it is. Yeah, insecurities. You don't want to be a pushover, you don't want to be a punk or whatever, and you want to show your dominance the most effective way by, you know, you push me, I kill you type thing, you know, like, I don't know. But I don't know, that wasn't me. I've been in a few scraps before, and it either ended with mutual friendship or just dust in the wind. Literally one of my best friends. I gained, I guess story time off topic, but I haven't been talking to you guys in a while. But I literally made two of my best friends through a fight. I moved to another neighborhood. This is back when I was in elementary school. And funny enough, I was just about to start the first grade. So I moved to another neighborhood. I was going to be starting a new school and everything. My brother and my cousin was outside. They already found a group of friends. They playing basketball together. I'm like, damn, all right, let me go outside. Look how bold I was. This is because I wasn't really a gamer back then too. So I was like, hey, I'm just going to go outside too and see what I can find. Shit ain't going to never happen. I'm too much of not an introvert, but I don't know, I'm more to myself now. But yeah, back then I was like, I ain't care. So I went outside, see if there's any kids my age outside. Like, damn, like all these teenagers out here playing basketball. What about the youngers? So I met two kids. They were cousins. They were playing with, I don't know if there's a proper word for it, but we normally call them poppers. It's like those little firecracker paper ball things where you throw them on the floor real hard. They like making a little pop explosion sound. So they were playing with those, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, hey, I'm just trying to slowly like talk to them, make small talk to get into the circle, whatever. And let them know that, yeah, I just moved here, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then his cousin throws one of the popper at me. I'm like, all right. And one thing about me is that, like I said before, when I was younger, I did have I had a temper, but also at the same time, I knew when and when not to use it, I guess. So I was going to confront him about like, yo, what you doing? But then like he started like, oh, he like ran around so he could hide behind his cousin. So he like, oh, so what you like? Oh, why you pushing up on him? Like, bro, I'm just like trying to figure out what's going on. But then they both started walking towards me. I'm like, all right, whatever, bro. I'm not gonna sit here and fight you guys over poppers. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna walk away. I see you guys ain't cool. They still following me, like trying to antagonize me or whatever. And then I saw another boy just walking up. And he like, yo, yo, did he bother you? Like, and it's nothing, but like, yo, what up? So then he just confronts him. I'm like, oh, what the hell going on? Then they just got into a fight, and he just starts beating him up. I'm like, oh, what the hell's going on? So that happened. So I got cool with that dude, who I guess defended me, and found out that actually his brother is one of the guys that my brother and cousins is playing basketball with. So we already had, I guess, a whole mutual circle going on there. So we became cool. All right, cool. His cousin didn't live in the neighborhood, but he did, the one that tried to fight me. So I saw him around. My brother and cousin started talking to him, and like they trying to like get him to fight me and whatever. I'm like, bro, I don't want to fight this man. And so that's like our friendship kind of started on us just like constantly fighting each other. We fought each other like 3 times, and like the last time like it ended in a draw, I guess. And we were like, whatever, cool, cool. Then we became cool. And then the third one who defended me originally was there too. And then I found out, weirdly enough, that these two actually been friends like long before me. And now I'm just sitting here thinking, like, who the hell beats up their friend for a stranger? Like, that sounds wild, but that happened. So, yeah, then that was we've been best friends, since I moved, which was about 7 years. So, like, about 7 years of us being cool together. Until I eventually moved. Like I said, that was one of my boys that I left behind because I had no way to contact them when I moved, because social media wasn't really popping like that, and calling people was it was risky. Like, you gotta call at a certain time, and not everybody has cell phones. So yeah, things happen. But yeah, going off topic. But yeah, like I said, I guess that's how differently people deal with their trauma. Like, I didn't he didn't come back and shoot us up or whatever, or vice versa. I didn't know. It would be, everybody exchanged blows and we became cool, and a great friendship was born between all three of us. But yeah, so, yeah. So one of the main reasons why I wanted to talk about this topic is because, funny enough, of what I've recently seen. So I was scrolling on Facebook, and I've seen these things a few times. Like, I seen these like a few years ago, but it just hit me this one time. So it's just, I'm like in like a little gaming group or whatever on Facebook, and people be posting the streams and whatnot. So this girl who was streaming, and she posted, and the first time I went to her stream, she was streaming Overwatch, and she was going in. I was like, oh, that's craziness. So she posted again like a few days later, like, oh, I'm streaming again, and I came up, but I think I was like, it was like a few hours after she already posted something, like, oh, damn, I don't know if she's still alive. I just clicked just to see. And it was like her sleeping. And I'm like, oh, it's a sleeping stream. And, like I said, originally I was like, oh, sleep stream. Like, I've seen this before. And then it hit me like, a sleeping stream. Like, why do people do this? Not to look down on people, but like, is that some form of hidden loneliness that, even streaming in itself, like, you want to, maybe you don't have people to directly talk to or text, so hey, you stream and hope someone just pop up and start talking to you. Like, yeah, that's cool, but a sleeping stream, like, I don't know the benefits of it from both sides. Like, maybe, I don't know, like, it's not like the chat is doing anything to help her sleep, unless she's slowly like reading the chat, and while she's drifting away while reading the chat, and then she pass out. Cool. But then for the people who still sitting there watching and just chatting, and not saying like, in no creepy way they watching her, but then they just chatting with each other, and it's like, no, these dudes probably don't know each other, but they came together because of this one streamer, and they maybe they didn't have nobody and they were alone, so they are willing to sit here and watch this person sleep to talk to this person. Like, it's one of those things where technology is amazing but weird at the same time. Like, yeah, it brings you close to people quickly, but the circumstances of how it brings you together is like, damn, like I said, like I don't know what story would be weird to tell. Like, yeah, I met my best friend, he was trying to beat me up and we fought each other, then we became cool too. Yeah, I met my best friend, we were both watching this girl sleeping on her stream. Like, I don't know, like, but yeah, like, I don't know, it's definitely, I don't know, I don't want to say questionable, but it's interesting. I mean, I'm not one person to be like, hey, y'all weird talking online. You already seen my last few guests on my podcast were people that I met online. Like, I have not met them at all personally, but yet we had a 4-year friendship with each other. So it happens. But like I said, it's the circumstances of how it happens. Like, yeah, we met in a chat group compared to meeting on a stream where somebody is just sleeping. And again, not to put someone down, like I said, I've seen this years ago, and never, like, I wasn't doing my podcast at the time, and I don't know, maybe I was still going through my thing, so I guess I was still understandable of it, but I'm now is like, I'm more questionable of it, and I chalked it up to the idea of being alone, which is why I made this topic. And even just regular streams, like the fact that they even made it a thing now, because before it wasn't a thing. Like on Twitch, you just put the just chatting feature instead of people would put, oh, I'm playing this game, but they really just sitting there talking. Like, now they like, oh, well, if they're just sitting there talking, well, here's the category for people who just sitting here talking. And it makes me wonder about people who stream strictly doing that. Like, maybe, like, you know, because I've seen it happen before. Like, some people I follow, like, you know, they would start their stream as a just talking stream, just to get people, you know, let people get in the chat, you know, because, you know, they want people to like, oh, they're streaming and they didn't get the notification or whatever the case is. You know, so, you know, let people get in. So, you know, I'm just going to talk to you guys for a little bit and then I'm going to put on Apex or whatever. But I don't know if this is a thing, but people who just like, you know what? People who just like, you know what? I'm just going to become a strictly talking streamer. Like, all I'm gonna do is just sit here and just talk, and hopefully someone comes to my chat and we talk, and then hopefully I grow from there. Like, that in itself is a big risk. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I didn't really want to do podcasting or YouTube, because of that. Like, just sitting here talking to myself, but at least it's recorded and it's going somewhere, and hopefully someone will listen to it. But when you go on live, you gotta hope someone comes in while you're still live, or you just sitting there talking to yourself the whole stream. Like, I don't know, it's risky. And then, like I said, like, what is that? Is that a case? Is that a form of, like, I don't know, a cry for help of how lonely you are without really, you know, crying for help? Like, there's no one I can text, there's no one I can call. There's literally no one that I can go to. So my last case scenario is that I'm just gonna go live and hope somebody just talks to me. I don't know. Maybe I would love to actually, I guess, have a guest who does that. Honestly, just so I can understand, because all I can do is ask questions. I can't give no answers. All I can do is speculate. So I would love to definitely probably somehow find someone or anyone who listens to my podcast that does it. Please feel free to join this podcast and talk to me about it, or just talk to me about your loneliness as well. Like, I have no problem revisiting topics with the guests, because that's what it's all about. I like to hear other people's perspective and probably get more better answers than whatever crap I was given. Because all I can do is talk for myself. I would love to hear other people talk for themselves. But yeah, like, I don't know. Like I said, all I can do is ask questions. Like, is that really like a form of, like, you know, there's really nobody in my life, and before I go crazy and insane of being trapped alone, I'm going to do this. Like, I don't know. And like I said, for sleeping, like, I don't know. I mean, a lot of people do things for sleep, and like me, like, I don't want to say I can't. I've kind of programmed myself to almost rely on watching something when I go to sleep. Especially the moment. I mean, I always done it, but it was definitely like, it got more serious once I figured out what ASMR was. Like I said, I didn't know what the name of it was. I used to always watch videos of people like just playing video games or whatever, or just talking. Like, one of my favorite things I love is watching people like talk about video game lore or whatever. And they just happen to have like relaxing voices while they do it. So I would sleep to that. But then I found out what ASMR was, and then like started watching a bunch of ASMR videos, and it's like, oh, and then at one point I couldn't sleep without having an ASMR video. And now it's just like, I don't know, I can do it, but it definitely speeds the process up when I just have something playing in the background. But I want like like, hey, I'm tired, I want to get some sleep, but I can't go to sleep, like, you know, without doing something. Or no, I can't go to sleep without being live, or whatever the case is, but whatever that prompts you to go live and go to sleep. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, all I can do is ask questions. But yeah, I mean, loneliness is definitely, I mean, it's definitely like one of the biggest causes to, you know, depression and all of that. Like, I'll also chalk that up to, like, is it because you are actually alone, or is it because you feel alone? And my thing is, if it's because you feeling alone or are alone, like, what are you willing to do, I guess, to fill that void? Like, you know, for me, it was, you know, mainly starting my creative process of doing things, but also taking full advantage of the online world. Like, you know, I became real big in joining online games and online chats and whatever, and talking to people and meeting other people. But yeah, but I finally got to a point where, like, understanding that I can't do it as my coping mechanism, I guess, or whatever. Like, I can't rely on, oh, I need to be on, say Amino, for example. I need to be on this app, but before I feel like I'm about to go crazy of loneliness, like, I'm cool with spending time with myself now. I mean, just me doing this podcast is in the form of itself me just spending time with myself, like just sitting here being cool, you know, chilling with myself, talking to you guys and relaxing and giving relaxing thoughts, quote unquote. But yeah, like, some people probably, like, they're not there yet. Some people feel like they need to constantly talk to people, and I'm kind of, I mean, I'm mixed and matched. Like, I understand that I need to, like, give people space and give myself space, but at the same time, when it comes to like, mainly when it comes to females, like, I do like female company. Like, I like talking to women. Like, I don't know, like, that just been me, like, ever since I was a kid. Like, that always been me. But yeah, but also, like I said, I've grown to the point to know that everybody need their space. Everybody need their own time. I mean, my best friend moved to Japan, so our time zones are weird, and top it off, she's busy, you know, living her life and working, and I'm doing me. So when we talk, it's, you know, it's here and there, but it's like knowing that she's there, that's like, oh, like, you know, I can't trip over it. Like, she's there. That's all that matters. That's all that really matters to me, that she's there and that we can still talk. She didn't vanish, or I didn't vanish. So yeah, and hopefully I can have her on this podcast. I feel like, I keep saying that a lot of times, I feel like the episode might potentially be like my longest episode, because I feel like I can talk to her about anything. So yeah, we'll see where that goes. Hopefully she gets on here. Looking at my time, we almost reaching 50 minutes. I don't want to force it, so I think I might just wrap it up. It's been a while, so I enjoyed this little one-on-one time and sharing with you guys. Like I said, if I do end up having more guests or whatever and whatnot, I probably would just end up doing weekly episodes if that happens. But then if not, then you know that I'm doing more solo episodes. So yeah, as always, to end it, I didn't even write one down, but I'm gonna try to think of one. And it's been so long since I asked you one, me personally. Question of the day. Sorry if I'm sniffling in your ears. Like, my nose just got stuffy at the last second. That's weird. But yeah, I mean, just the concept of being alone. I mean, all right. So my question would be, for people who have dealt with their loneliness and or are still someone dealing with their loneliness, what is your, I don't know, I guess your method to deal with it? Like, what are you doing to stop yourself, I guess, to prevent your loneliness from making things go to a further darker turn? Like, what is it that you're doing that's still keeping you going and not feeling completely lost and alone? So yeah, that's my question for you guys. And yeah, as always, you guys enjoy this. Please be sure to share this. I really do hope you guys enjoy this. I enjoy always making episodes. And the podcast I was on, whether anyone had listened to this or not, was called Mutinous. At least that's his brand name. I don't know what his podcast name actually is. So hopefully you can find it under that. It's Mutinous. MUTANTNESS. Because I believe he's a big comic book fan and mutants from X-Men, I guess. But yeah. So if you guys want to listen to that or watch my official face reveal on his YouTube, that's there too. But yeah, hope you guys have a great day, a wonderful week. My birthday is coming up soon. My question for myself right now is, just all right. So yeah, by the next episode I will be 1 year older. So yeah, enjoy that. So my birthday is gonna pass by the time I upload another episode. That being, I don't miraculously get a guess, but yeah. Yeah, enjoy yourselves. See you guys next time. Peace.